That's a Slim and Bones.
Alrighty, we are back. Welcome back to the Red Corner, baby. A whole gang here. We got a special week. We got Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving in advance. Guys, best holiday? Thanksgiving? Football, food, family?
It's not my favorite. I like Christmas a lot more. I like Halloween more.
Oh, you like Halloween
Thanks.
more than Thanksgiving? Wow.
Yeah, I like Halloween more than Thanksgiving. Big on Halloween. I like Memorial Day weekend. I like 4th of July. Thanksgiving for me,
4th of July is a good one.
a lot of errands, usually a lot of running around.
Whoa, we got the crazy starting early tonight.
Dude, it's like they know that we're starting. It's crazy.
Anyway, so speaking of Thanksgiving, so guys, like and subscribe. We upgraded our little down there, right? We got the YouTube. If you're watching this or listening to this, you're already here. Like, subscribe, please. Instagram, we just rolled out an Instagram. We got information right there. Twitter, we're active on Twitter. Not everybody's a Twitter person, but if you are, we're active. So get involved. There's our handle right there. Speaking of Thanksgiving, thank you for everyone who has participated in our turkey drive. We've been raising turkeys through subscribers. Kind of a fun way to get our community involved. We got a big old bag of turkeys that's going to get dropped off to our donation place tomorrow. That's going to be exciting. That will be all over our socials. Thanks again to everybody for that. Guys, let's jump on in. This will be the final, and I mean it, final Juan Soto prediction for this show. Slim, where are we at?
0%.
So you're stable at 0. Okay.
Yes.
And you'll see right down there we got the where we were previously ticking down on the screen. So Bones, you were at 15. Where are we at now?
I'm going to say the same, even though they haven't really met with them yet. I don't know. They're a sleeper to me. I think they're still. I think they can get it done.
Okay. I'm going to tick
Always
up.
a chance.
Always a chance. I'm going to tick up from 1 to 2%. 2% because I think there's a lot of posturing going on right now, right? With a lot of these mixed messaging going on from the different reporters, right? You got one guy who's reporting that the Phillies, John Heyman, was reporting that the Phillies were in fact planning on meeting with Juan Soto. And then Bob Nightingale over at USA Today was saying that, no, the Phillies have not met him and it doesn't look like they're meeting him at all. So I'm thinking maybe that conflicting messaging is the agents playing games. So I'm going to tick up slightly. My final prediction is 2%.
I have a question for you. I noticed this. Last week you said the guy who said the Phils had the meeting, Jeff Passan, you said he was the top guy. Do you think Nightingale's the top guy or Jeff? Because they seem to be the top two. Nightingale, he was his claim to fame for me is the Harper saga, right? He's the one that was dragging us along there.
Yeah.
So there's something about Nightingale that I like. You know, he does a really good job, I think, with the suspense of the MLB offseason. So he's my guy, personally.
So I don't know where I seen it, but they were saying like he's asking for basically like 45 mil a year for like 12 to 14 years or something like that. Did you guys see that as well or no?
I did.
I didn't see the numbers.
Yeah.
The last thing I saw was regarding the Phillies was, again, they said they didn't even have the meeting yet, so that wasn't a good sign. What I'm thinking now, though, is I think the Yankees are back in this race because a lot of these Yankee people are going to be upset if he ends up with the Mets or the Red Sox, right? So with the numbers that you're throwing out, Bones, that makes sense now because Hal Steinbrenner up there, he's not his father, so they're trying to win another World Series and letting Juan Soto go to a team in the same city or to your biggest rival, maybe one of the biggest rivalries in all of sports, would not be a good look. So I can actually see him breaking the bank. Uh, I don't know if I make the Yankees a favorite. I'm not sure, but they're right back in this race. I think with those three: Yankees, Red Sox, Mets.
Your boy Nightingale actually thinks the Mets are the heavy favorite right now. Just to kind of set the table
The
one more
heavy favorite.
time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they are too.
yeah, that's what. So basically, just to kind of rehash, Mets, Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox are the four that have the confirmed meetings that all the big boys have been reporting. Now, the Phillies, we all know there's kind of like this confusion going on there. They're expecting offers to go out this week. Buster Olney reported. So, what Nightingale said was he doesn't think there's a scenario where the Mets don't match an offer.
Right, and that's exactly that. Again, once the Mets become the heavy favorite, where it's been consistent, and it's all because of the owner Cohen. It seems like there's nothing he won't spend on. So that really shows us that the Phillies should be at 0%. That 500 million extra we got is very sweet, but it's going to be money we're going to have to spend more wisely and not. Maybe not. Maybe we throw a bunch of money at Bregman or something like we talked about. But
Yep.
maybe it doesn't seem like that 500 million is going to be going to Juan Soto because it really looks like it might get crazy here.
The Phillies has always been like quiet when it comes to like free agency, like about getting like letting rumors out. Like we had no idea that like, Cliff Lee was going to come back the way he did. That broke
Right.
randomly on a middle in December at these same GM meetings that are going to be happening, or winter meetings that are going to be happening next week. So I wouldn't be shocked. And also with the if he wants opt outs, which is could be good, I think the Phillies could still be in play with that or giving them options because they have a better team than all those teams that we listed.
Better than
And
the
I think
Mets.
that could play a factor for.
Yeah. I think we have a better top to bottom roster than the Mets.
It's close though. I mean,
Um,
the two teams we're naming. I mean, we're all pretty close.
So, Adam, going back to what you were just saying on the opt outs, you're saying that if because the Phillies might include them, whereas the other teams would not. Is that what you're saying?
No, I just think it's more like enticing for them that he wants them. Just to say if it doesn't go wrong, he can opt out or they can opt out. You know what I mean? So not really like bought in for all those 14 years.
Got it. Okay, I'm following you. Awesome. All right, guys, let's close the book on Soto. I'll give you each. If anything else you want to get off your chest on him.
Yeah, this won't be the last time we're talking about this, by the way.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is the
Bones made a strong
final.
point. If the Phillies are going to get Soto, I do like zagging and giving him maybe a 3-year deal, something juicy, so that he can get himself right back out there again.
Yeah, that'd be great. Awesome. Okay, guys. So let's go. Let's kind of transition to in-house stuff, right? So there was a juicy report that went out as far as from Matt Gelb over at the Athletic, right? So we've been hearing a bunch of trade rumors floating around, right? We heard the Jeff Passan report that you referenced earlier, Slim, that basically Alec Bohm is on the block, right? But now we just heard about a couple other confirmed names that from really reliable sources in Matt Gelb, Phillies Insider, right? So what I wanted to say is, and just kind of give you that quote, he basically said the Castellanos, Suarez, and Bohm are all getting shopped right now, right? So I kind of took a step back and read between the lines and wanted to frame this question a different way. Outside of Turner and Harper, is basically everybody on the table from the Phillies position players? Think about it.
Yeah, I mean, they want to really shake it up. They're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to want one of these players. So I think it's pretty much fair to say that everybody is available. Maybe not Schwarber.
Maybe not, but, you know, I feel like if the price is right, I don't know. Maybe I'm off on that. I love Schwarber. Love to have him here, but Slim, what do you think about that?
I think you're right. I do think Schwarber comes with another exception. Um, and the reason these guys are available is because they all have major holes in one way or another. Uh,
Right.
Bohm had the terrible second half. Castellanos, he's not that guy. He's not him. He wasn't him in 2023. He had a decent first half back then. He wasn't great this year, regardless of even his box score, even his standard, even beyond just the if you just went to his baseball, the back of his baseball card isn't as good as it was in his earlier years when he was with Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So both these guys, if they're going to get moved, and here's the other thing, they're not Bohm, but Castellanos is going to be a salary dump. He's $20 million. These dudes, some of them have a decent price tag to them, and they're just not productive. And especially again, I think the big name for me is Castellanos. I think Suarez, that name is more of he's on his last deal, right? So of course to do it 1 year is going to be a piece that can be thrown
Attractive.
into trades, but I don't think he's someone like what you mentioned, like you said last week. If we trade him, we gotta bring something back in because he's a starting pitcher
Mm-hmm.
with Castellanos, and what I think we're going to see is that him and Bone, they really don't got too much value, and we're going to have to really give a big, big, big sweetener in that deal, because if we do a deal with the Chicago White Sox, okay, Bone can play third base for the White Sox. Castellanos, he's going to just be as help them hit this. So it looks like they have a competitive salary, you know and then he's going to stink. There are teams going to stink, but they can say, "Hey, look, we at least try to bring these guys in." And then here's the sweetener seems it's going to be, who a guy I said I wouldn't trade last week. I think I got to trade him this week. Justin Crawford, right? That looks like it's the deal. It's going to be Bohm and Castellanos and Crawford for the pitcher Crochet, and I don't want to do it, but I think we have to.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, and the way the Phillies
Yeah.
are talking about Crawford, they started hyping him up last week as potentially starting. They said when he comes to spring training, he's going to be battling. I don't believe that personally.
Yeah.
I believe that's hype to get him moved now, which I would hate to see it happen, but I do believe, like I said, I'm not going to shy away from the values of how I want to build this team. So I would do it.
So so what you just said on Castellanos, Bohm, and Crawford, Justin Crawford, the minor leaguer, the top three prospect for the Phils. The only
Number two,
way
we
that
would say.
yeah, top three, yeah, well, some would say two, some would say three, depending on how you're looking at it. But I don't see a scenario, and I could be wrong. I don't see a scenario where we make that trade unless we already know there's other things in the works, right? Because in a vacuum, do you think the Phillies are better if we trade Castellanos and Bohm and Crawford for Crochet?
Well,
I
you
don't think
plug
so.
you. Well, here's the thing: you plug in Sosa at third base, no harm, no foul.
Nah, he's
Right.
not a
No.
Well,
baseball player.
I'm saying worst case scenario. You're assuming we don't make no more moves,
Correct.
no more
Correct.
moves, which ain't going to be the
Correct.
deal at all.
And
Right.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So assuming that
Yeah.
Sosa is already a plus, probably a plus over defensively over Bohm, and then you can put a plus. Marsh is a plus defender in right field. If you put Marsh in right field. But with
And then
that
who's
said,
your center fielder?
unfortunately, it would be someone like Rojas or someone. But with that
If
being said, we know there's more moves coming.
Or someone.
Well, who else do we have in the outfield? Who played the
that wouldn't
outfield
even
this
be a
year?
playoff team if they did that.
Dude,
That's a
Castellanos isn't a
huge
Sosa
playoff
difference.
at third
player.
base.
Castellanos is not a playoff player. Have you seen the playoffs? He stinks. He
Sosa at
had
third
one good
base.
game and a blowout, and we're in the playoffs months, basically like a month out of a year. He has 2 good days out of those months, and you guys act like the Phillies fans. That's the other thing. He's not a
He
good
had
player.
he had a good postseason this year, Castellanos.
Barely. He did not have a good postseason. He did not have a good postseason. Right? We do like to stretch it. We like the personality. I do think I think that 3-for-1's going to happen, and we're going to see more moves. I'm hoping that then we don't sign. I love to have Bregman, but if we give him a ton of money, we can't have another Turner situation, right? We can't be looking at shortstop and third base and Vin and Turner both not in their primes, looking like
Yeah.
Tobias Harris is over there. That's what I'm afraid of. But with that said, I would do that kind. I would. That's how I would shape the roster.
Okay, so Slim Bones, I'm looking at you here. So
My
let's kind
bad.
of just
Go
no,
ahead.
you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. That was good. That was all good stuff. So out of those three names, so Chris just packaged a couple of them. That's fair. Which is the most likely do you feel it's actually going to get moved out of those three? And a reminder.
I think it's Suarez and Boom. Boom, the leader in that, and then Suarez. But I think they both get moved. I said it. I think in like the first couple podcasts, I wouldn't be surprised if Suarez was moved.
Suarez moved.
For who now? Because like, what kind of player does a package of Bowman Suarez get you? Is what I'm wondering.
It
Because I don't
doesn't
know
have
if
to
he
be a
gets anything.
package.
What
It
do you
doesn't have to
get?
be a package.
And what do they return? They don't bring back anyone.
Reliever?
You're
Okay,
doing it for
that's
you're
fine.
Doing it for you're doing it for a
Bullpen dude?
corner outfielder, or an arm that you're going to be using all year. Whether that's a reliever, it's an impact pitcher.
Yeah, well, I would like to if they're getting rid of if the Cardinals are getting rid of Arenado, package him
Right.
Boom and Suarez in there, and we get their closer Helsley.
Another good name.
But when you say a deal like that, Bones, we're getting the two better players for the two worst players, and one who has no power, and then one who's a free agent.
What happened?
Coming and like no one, everyone's having a hard time believing. We believe that Suarez is closer to a 4/5 guy than he is a 3-2 guy based off the end of last year. I don't think any of us. I hope so. I'm going to be so excited.
I think he's a 3 if he's healthy, but that's a big if.
I'm not sure what he looks like. He was
Yeah.
amazing. He's one of my favorite players for sure. I think he's potentially a 3. But with that said, and you said it last week, Devo, none of us think he's going to be what he was for that stretch that we saw.
Right.
So what team is going to want to? I mean, I don't know. Especially the Cardinals, who they should be better, right? Don't they have some young guys coming in this year, et cetera? I mean, I'm not sure why they would be looking to trade Arenado.
Get
And
money
their
off the
closer.
books. Get money off the books. And they're kind of like, I think they're going to be going in a rebuild somewhat.
So we talked about it from like a trade and business standpoint, and we know this is a business, right? And these guys are all adults making a lot of money. But we did re-sign the, as social media calls him, the CVO, the Chief Vibes Officer, Stubbs, to another year. So speaking of vibes, given that we just kind of somewhat agreed that basically everybody's on the table outside of the Turner and Harpers of the world, is this going to impact the vibes of the clubhouse at all? Right? We saw Castellanos got in his feelings a little bit last year, knowing his name was in the rumor mill. Do we have any thoughts on that at all this year?
With Stubbs, he's not, like I said. I think he's smart enough to feel the room.
Yeah.
Learn from his mistakes, the jumping in the pool. I mean, I think we saw a lot less of that this year. Even though I like to joke on it, I think we saw him take his approach to the game a lot more serious this year. At least he looked more productive here and there. I know he's definitely not great. But with that said, I think bringing him back is going to be a plus for the vibes again, because of one reason. I do think he's professional in his approach to his preparedness, right? So he's someone who's going to be used to the routines. He's used to the system, which is very important for the backup catcher. I don't need him to be in the spotlight now. He can be that Todd Pratt type who is just always there, always the backup catcher. Not great, but knows his role and does it well. And then who's behind him after Marshawn, or how do you say his name? Who's the other guy? Marshawn.
Marshawn. Yep, that's it.
Marshawn. After Marshawn, is there anyone else? Because you don't want to lose Stubbs and then just have two catchers, right?
No
Because
one
then,
major league ready in the Phillies farm.
right. So then that would be problematic if we would be down to two guys, meaning we would have to sign one of these dudes in the. I'm sure we have a Remuto, so we're not going to put big money in a catcher. Uh, and then we'll be teaching some subpar talent new routines and systems, etc. So
Right.
that's why I'm okay with the Stubbs stuff, especially it's a long season.
So interesting thing I seen today about Stubbs' contract. If he plays at the major league level, it's like 900 and something $1,000 that he's getting paid. But there's also it's like a two-way contract he has.
Mm.
So if he's in the minor leagues, he's getting like 400 something $1,000. I don't know why that's out there, but I wouldn't be shocked if if he's in the minors and Marshawn's the catcher, the backup.
Yeah, right. Read between the lines. That's probably in place because they're anticipating he's going to be a nice split between the big leagues.
Yeah, because he has no
Yeah.
options left. So like,
Right.
it's
Oh,
either Marshawn's going to be a backup or he's going to be playing somewhere else because he's not going to go to the minors.
right. So you keep Stubbs. Most likely, what happens is you keep Stubbs in the minors. If Marshawn gets injured, Stubbs is a stopgap. See how he does. If not, then you start looking, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's
I don't know what the Phillies are going to do. Stubbs is the only guy on the team that can bunt.
Yeah. No, that's the bunting is just brutal. All right, boys, are we ready to transition to the kitchen? So, Slim, what do we got this week for in the kitchen?
I think my in the kitchen is going to be. I touched on it. I think we have to change our approach. I think we were sold a. I don't think there's any value in the names that we're trying to trade, and I think we're being very naive if we think we're going to trade Castellanos, Suarez, and Bohm for any real types of players. Uh, so we're gonna have to trade these minor league guys. I don't want to sit here and get into the weeds on the chase rate of Nick Castellanos. It's terrible, right? It's terrible. He's defensively he's like -8 when it comes to saving runs, right? That's terrible. So if we want to start changing the approach, if we want to get guys who know how to bunt, we got to move a bunch of guys out. Uh, I don't think Crawford's ready. I think this team is ready. I hate to do it, but I would trade. I would love to. I would love for it to be Miller, right? Make it Miller. Keep Crawford. I don't. That's just gut feeling for me. Yeah, and I don't. I think after we do that, we can't be signing guys.
You would love to be to trade Miller. Is that what you're
I would
saying?
love to trade Miller. Yeah, I would love it to be a three-way deal to where Miller, Castellanos, and Bohm are all on the move, and we get back the pitcher and maybe another right fielder, or a center fielder, a lesser name, somebody who's a platoon type guy, like like what we were looking for, I guess, with Austin Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a three-way trade. I think I see the benefit of that that 3-for-1 to the Chicago White Sox. So I don't think they're a serious organization. They can eat up. Castellanos is owed $40 million this year and then next year. That's a lot of money, right? We
I
got
don't
him
think
for
it's.
2 more years.
I don't think it's 40
That-
each year. I think it's 20.
I think it's 20.
Each
No,
year.
it's 20 and 20. He's owed 40
Correct.
million total, which is a lot of money.
Correct. Correct.
That's a
Oh
ton.
yeah, no, that's a lot of money. Absolutely. Yeah, no.
And then if we're going to be
Mhm.
no, and
I
then
was going to
if
say most reports are saying that if we were to move Castellanos, there's a lot of speculation that we would be having to paying down a good and eat a good portion of the salary.
right, we have to eat his portion. That's what I'm saying. A team like and it's kind of like oxymoron because why would the White Sox want to pay anybody if they're just going to stink? But it gives that mirage of they're doing something to where there's so many teams like this, and part of uh, Pittsburgh's like this. We touched on them last week. The White Sox are like this, and unfortunately, the Reds are like this. I believe we just saw the Reds did just acquire a pitcher. That was a big deal, I think, because the Royals
Mm-hmm.
were a team. The Royals traded a starting pitcher Singler for Jonathan India, who has been a phenomenal contact um, second baseman over in Cincinnati.
One rookie of the year, right?
One rookie of
Mm-hmm.
the year. Definitely batted 300 his rookie year. I know he might have had a down year his sophomore year.
He's a big on base guy. Gets on
Yeah,
base.
he's a pretty tough player. He's someone who can hit it. I'm not sure. We'll see how it works, but he is someone who can bunt. You maybe hit him on top of the lineup. He's probably gonna be batting two there. But with that said, the Royals were a candidate for Bohm, so now they're off the table.
Mm.
So that's just another little nugget.
I don't think they're off the table.
No,
He's a second baseman. They're looking for a third baseman.
who's the second baseman?
India.
So I think what Slim's saying is the candidate that was traded was in Singer was the one that was being associated with Bohm for the swap. So that's why.
Oh,
I
was
feel
he?
that, yeah.
Oh, he's not
Again,
bad.
just speculation, but
I'd rather have Suarez than we're going to trade for him.
Really?
Bones,
Yeah, I'm not.
what do
A
you
lot
got?
you see a lot of these pitchers have names. They get streaky. I'm not like you. I can't tell you who's better, Suarez or Singler right now. I know last year that the Royals had a lot of good pitchers. Seattle had a lot of good pitchers. Um, they're two teams that were in the mix for Bohm, and I'm down to trade Bohm for one of their arms. And it just looks like Devo said, the Royals are now off the table in that regard.
Yeah, I mean the White Sox are in a position where it's kind of like you said, ironically, they're coming off the worst team, worst season in MLB history. There is no urgency there, right? There's no expectations. So we saw this with which we'll never probably say this word again, the process and the Sixers. When there is no urgency and you're just sitting there, you're like, listen, I'm going to take the best package I can get for this guy, right? Crochet, and they're just going to be picky, and that's what they're doing, right? They did it at the deadline, they're doing it to us now. So it's not where they don't have an incentive to maybe to play the give-get game, right? Because they're thinking for the future. So they just want to haul of all the minor leaguers because they don't want
Right.
a Castellanos type guy,
So
a
with
marginal. You would think not.
let me ask you guys a hypothetical. Would you rather sign Bregman and see him kind of slip towards being overpaid? Decent, but more like I was saying last week, a 5 or 6 hole than a top four guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, would you want to sign someone like the Brewers? Who's the Brewers guy? Willie Adamas, how do you say it? Adamas.
Adamas.
He very boom and bust approach, right? Not really getting away from that boom and bust approach, or trade two minor leaguers and keep Boom and see if the message from the vets and the organization got through his head. Because
Bones, what do
I
you
don't
think?
think we want to be. I would love Bregman, but there is a decent percent chance that 3 years from now, 2 years from now, he's not the same guy. Decent percent chance we bring in another third baseman who um, has maybe 8 to 10 more homers than Bohm, but is absolutely boomer bust. You know,
Yeah, I don't think Bones power is going to get any higher than what it is, and I
I
think
agree
that's what
there
they
too.
were. I think that's what they were hoping for by now.
Right,
So that's one of
it's
the
just not
reasons.
there, and it
Before we
doesn't.
move on, Bones, did you have anything you would dive
Yeah, I
into
want
here?
to. We touched on the Hall of Fame ballot. See what you guys wanted to get into with that. I got mine here.
Let's hear yours.
All right.
We'll
So
give
I'm
you
one
some
of the.
feedback.
I love. Got to vote for 10. If you're going to do it, vote for 10, in my opinion.
Okay.
All right. I think it's
I don't have.
stupid,
I don't
like that
have. I don't have.
people.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going. I'm
Like
not
you.
necessarily all there with you on that.
Do you not think there's 10 Hall of Famers, or you just don't think someone should get in now with a certain person?
So it's more that I think that if you're looking at a group of nominees and you don't see 10, then you shouldn't put 10 down. Why
No,
would you vote
I
for?
think
Yeah.
I think there's 10 here.
Okay, let's hear.
I
Let's hear
think
your
there's
10.
more than 10, but the most you can vote for is 10.
Yeah.
Bobby Abreu, Hall of
Okay.
Famer. I
That's
don't want to hear.
okay.
He's probably not going to get in, but he's a Hall of Famer. Felix Hernandez, he should be getting in this year.
Yep.
I think Torrey Hunter's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Great defender. Good with the bat. Great smile. Hall of Famer. Andrew Jones, he should have been in a couple years ago. He was
I
probably
agree
the
with
best
that.
defensive center fielder that we've seen in our lifetime, and Torrey Hunter's not far behind him.
Yep.
Jimmy Rollins,
Agreed.
Hall of Famer.
Agreed.
Yeah, he's like borderline. He should be. I think he.
I think
should be
Jimmy
Hall
has
of
a
Famer.
better case than Bobby.
CC Sabathia, 3,000 strikeouts. He's going to get in. I don't know if it's this year, but eventually he'll get in. Ichiro, he might be the second unanimous Hall of Famer ever. Know who the first one was?
I do. Well, I'll let
All right.
Slim guess here.
Chris, you know who the first
What's the question?
unanimous Hall of Fame player?
Jack
Pretty
Robinson.
sure I know this. Is it Mariano Rivera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so and then Chase Utley,
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Famer. This guy probably won't get in. A lot of off the field issues. I think that's what's holding him out. Omar Vizquel,
Yeah.
he's a Hall of Famer.
No, that's a good list. That's a
And
good
I'm
list.
not done.
Keep going.
Billy Wagner, last year on the ballot. He was a couple votes short last year. I think he gets in this year.
Yeah, he was like, how many was it? 2 or 3?
Yeah, something like that. It was under 5.
That stinks.
And and then next week we find out about Dick Allen.
Yep.
I think we said December 8th, right? So
December 8th.
maybe we'll be
Dick
talking
Allen.
about that on the podcast next week.
We have some good. We don't want to spoil too much, but we have some nice Dick Allen content coming up the pike here.
Is there any guys like that I didn't name that you have on your list?
Yeah, I have. I mean, this A-Rod, right? You didn't mention A-Rod, did you?
No, he got caught with steroids. He's out.
Okay. I would have A-Rod. I would have. You didn't have Manny Ramirez, correct? Same reason?
Yeah, he
Correct.
tests positive, yes.
Right. I would also have. You said Billy Wagner at the end, who I would have. And then Felix Hernandez. Did you say Felix Hernandez?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then,
Felix
I think we're all on the same
Hernandez.
page.
Felix Hernandez was the one that I posted on our social. Felix Hernandez was the one. As soon as I clicked send, I was like, I missed him. So I agree. I agree with you on that one. Outside of that, I don't agree with Bobby Abreu, and that hurts me to say because Bobby was my boy, But I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Out of the Philly ones, so Chase gets the most hipster love from all the analytics because Chase's 5-year, 6-year stretch was ridiculous, right? So I think he's a Hall of Famer, but I think Jimmy is number 1 as far as those 3. But the voters are saying Chase. So, hey, I hope they all get in. I think Bobby's a long shot, as you alluded to. All right, cool. I'm glad you brought that up. Slim, let's rip some packs, man. This is the week. This is the week.
This is the week.
You don't have it? Oh, you got them? And rip
Right
the
here.
pack on the camera too. Don't do it. Yeah, there you go. Let
Baseball.
the viewers see that.
Yeah, my apologies last week on that.
Yeah. And put it nice and close.
All
to
right, we're
the
going to go
camera.
back to good or not good. Long Grissom, new guy, young buck, not
Put
good.
that nice and close. A little bit closer.
He's
Gotcha.
all right.
Okay. Ooh, my bad. Braxton
Perfect right
Garrett,
there.
another guy one of my favorites when he was healthy, let me tell you. One of my favorites when he was healthy. Bump, 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 bump,
Uh-oh.
bump, bump,
Uh-oh.
bump, 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 bump,
Uh-oh.
bump. Weston Wilson.
Weston Wilson, hold on
Do we
here.
gotta
Let's check.
please?
Let's
How
check
about
the
all the
files.
Phils?
We think we do have one.
Bro, hold on. My apologies. You could play Sosa over Bohm, and you can play Weston Wilson over Castellanos, and your team's better.
All right, hold on here. Let's announce our winner. Who do we got here?
Third base. He plays third base. Bones.
All right, so subscriber Christopher. I won't name your last name. You will be reached out to via email.
Did he?
What's that?
Is it begins with an N?
It does.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
you
right.
won.
I'll have to let him know.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Christopher. You won 2 free Phillies tickets. You'll be coming with us if it works out. If not, we'll let you go, whoever you want. And we got that Phillies hat coming. We'll get your information. So congratulations, man. Spread the word.
Cheers.
Awesome.
That was fun. So now we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we want to see these guys, Max? We got Bobby Miller, Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll.
That guy. Yeah, a couple other D-backs. No more Phils.
That would have been great if there was
Man,
like 2 more in there.
I'm actually. I want to fire it up again, but
yeah,
wait.
This will not be a one-time thing. We'll be ripping more packs. It's fun. The subscribers seem to really enjoy that. So, speaking of the subscribers, let's go to our first subscriber question of the week, guys. And we're going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to flash it down there below so you guys can all see it. So let's pay attention here. Slim, I got a question coming your way. Then we'll come back to you on that.
Remind me about the cards.
Yep. What are the top ballparks that you'd like to visit? Starting with you, Slim.
So I would Wrigley.
Okay, been there. I highly recommend.
Fenway, the 2 classics, and then PNC.
Oh, that's a good list. Bones, we got.
I was going to say Pittsburgh, and then Busch Stadium looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Royal Stadium. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Was that Wrigley? Actually, it wasn't at Wrigley. I was in the apartments across the street.
Oh, that's right. How was that? Pretty cool to watch it from there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to do the Blue Jays. You ever see that little hotel they have right there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that looks cool. That's not one of my ballparks, but that is one that I want to do. So my list will be like Wrigley as well. Not Wrigley. Fenway. I have not done Fenway yet, and Dodger Stadium. I want to hit that one of the classics.
That's like a shithole though. Like
I
right
know,
where it's at.
But you got to check it off the list. It's one of the OG ones. You know, before it gets renoed or demolished, I got to get there. So and then PNC. I mean, that's you can't go wrong with that. That's a slam dunk one. So Sean from Substack, thank you for that question. That was a goodie. Question number 2 here from Eric via Substack. Bones, starting with you. What are the top 3 ballpark food / bev?
Top 3. Well, Bud Light's number 1. And then the Bull Dick from
Bull's Barbecue.
Bank Park at Bull's Barbecue. And then number 3, the
it doesn't have to be a specific ballpark food. It could be like just in general, ballpark food.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I like what was pretty good? The Federal Donuts chicken sandwich down at the bank.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But can't go wrong with a dollar dog.
No. Yeah. So you're stealing. Slim, what do you got?
Double Jack and Coke.
Okay.
And hot dog. And I'll take a hot dog.
Nothing like a double Jack and Coke at a baseball bar. So I was going to say dollar dog. I'm going to go super cliche. Cracker Jacks.
Cracker Jack.
And then my last one, it's just going to be a cold beer. I like the aluminum cans. There's something about that. On a nice 93 degrees, the sun blaring on your
Yeah, you got to chug it so it don't get warm.
Chug it. Yep. Starting to
All right,
crave
here we
that
go.
right now. All right, here we go.
What's
we got the dog.
What's up with the dollar dog and ice? They back? Or they What's happening with
Yeah, they're
these?
still at BOGO nights.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, they're still
They just
doing
put
it.
out the list last week.
Yep. All right, boys. This was another fun one. Nice tight episode here. Let's wrap this up like the same way we do every week.
All right, so on this day, 1980, Mike Schmidt earned his first NL MVP award.
Ooh. First of how many?
What do you win?
Not to put you on the spot. I don't
Four,
know.
I think.
That sounds
3 or
right.
4.
Cool.
And then got a couple birthdays. Brian Schneider, former Phillies catcher.
Yep.
Talk about a journeyman catcher. He knew his role. Brian Schneider killed the Phillies when he played for the Expos and Nationals.
Yep.
And then Corey Knebel,
Happy
born on this
birthday,
day,
Corey.
1991.
Okay.
Thank God we got rid of him.
I want to add 2 stadiums to that conversation.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
two I want to cross off this summer are Petco Park and Angel Stadium. I want those past Ajax seats underneath. You know where he stands below home plate
Yeah.
there?
Okay, cool. And before we wrap up here, Slim, you said you wanted to touch on something with the cards. You said remind
Oh,
me.
yeah. So these cards, it seems like these baseball cards all have a little theme pack. So if you guys know of anything cool, maybe let us know what ones we should be looking for. This one was a retro one. So next time when we get the box, I'll make sure before we even open the box, I'll let you guys know what the theme is. Besides the Phillies cards we're looking for, never know. If we hit one of these big cards, you
Yeah.
never know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We might get that Paul Skeen 1-for-1 or something even
yeah,
better.
someone got it. Someone got
Somebody
it.
got that. But
Well-
that's a great point, though. Yeah, no, seriously, because we aren't card guys, so we have no idea. I actually consulted one of my buddies, shout out Foley, for this box.
Mick
So if
Foley.
you guys, if you guys know of, Nick Foles, if you guys know of any, like Slim said, any boxes that we should be aware of, we'll jump on in. All right.
He said Mick
Yeah,
Foley,
baby.
not Nick Foles.
Oh, did he? All right. Well, those are two.
Not
those
a
are
card
two
guy,
goats.
not a
Those two
wrestling guy.
goats.
That Devo's a baseball guy.
I'm a dude love guy.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
dude,
act
love.
like
Okay,
don't
I
act
see
like
you.
I don't know
Okay.
Mick Foley.
This guy.
Dude loves.
On that note, we are out of here. We will see you next week. Like, subscribe, do everything that we ask, please. Thank you. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Scorpion season.